Hey everybody, Pastor Andrew here. I wanted to take a moment to share with you something that God's been speaking to me through my own devotions, as I have often been doing. It's kind of become a pattern. And I am constantly still amazed how we can read passages over and over again, and each time God brings us a different message based on our understanding of him, based on situations in life or moments that we are going through. And recently, God's been bringing me to the story of Joseph. Now, some of you may know this as a Broadway play, Joseph in the Technicolor Dream Coat. But this biblical message that God's been speaking to me about comes at the end of the story. For those who maybe are unaware, Joseph was a loved son, but his brothers were not too fond of him and not too fond of the love that his mother and father had been showing him. So they had a plan to get rid of him, to kind of excommunicate him from the family by faking his death. They threw him in a pit. They ripped up his Technicolor dream coat and went and told their father of his death. But he didn't die. In fact, he was sold into slavery by his brothers. But as the story goes on, Joseph, through the blessing of God and through God's working, rises up in the ranks, so to speak, within the government that he was sold into, and becomes practically second in command of the country, and saves not only that country, but saves many people around them as they go through a period of drought and famine. That through Joseph's wisdom, he is able to save many people. And one of the peoples, in fact, that he does save is his very own brothers, who come seeking help and seeking food during this famine and drought. And at the very end, when his brothers find out that it is Joseph that is saving them, they're almost in tears, unbelievably just lost in this idea that the brother that they hated, the brother that they disposed of, so to speak, would be able to show such love to them. And Joseph says something in that in at the end of that time. And he says, I'm just trying to remember if I could say it correctly, so I'm going to pull it up here. It says in Genesis 50:20, using the NIV, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." And I don't know about any of you, but maybe there are moments in your life, just like me, where there's been times where you see that someone's kind of been out to get you. Someone has meant evil against you. Now, I'm not saying throwing you in a pit or faking your death and selling you to slavery or anything like that. But there are moments in our life where we can be severely hurt or done wrong by. I can think of moments growing up where, I've been passed over for opportunities that I've worked hard for, or I've been rejected uh, in certain situations, and it's hurt me. And to be honest, it's shaped me. But looking back, I realized some of the shaping that was done has actually helped me grow into the man that I am, and gives me a desire to see souls saved and lives transformed, a desire to see everybody come and know the love and grace of God. I can remember one situation in my life in a youth group where friends of me and all of us decided to kind of begin a worship team. And then, the day before we have our first performance, being essentially kicked out of that worship team because the adult leader just decided he didn't want me there. And that hurt me, and I felt like I was being done wrong by that. That was an evil against me. And it took me a while to kind of get over that. But as I got over it, and as I look back, I realized that was a defining moment in my life, because that was a moment where I felt I didn't want anybody to feel what I had felt, to be rejected and to be told that they were unimportant, and to be told that all of the work that you did meant nothing. And I see that shaping me. And I called that a Joseph moment in my life. In fact, I can remember saying that more than once to people, that that was a Joseph moment for me, that somebody hurt me, somebody intended to do something wrong to me. And instead of it becoming this evil thing in my life, this thing that I'm harboring and has hatred, instead, it's been a defining moment that, well, someone meant it as a wrong. God used it for good. And there's moments even in my life right now, which are far too fresh to share, where I have felt that feeling where someone has done something to me or to somebody around me. And I could now look forward in hope, seeing this as a potential Joseph moment. That, well, somebody meant this to hurt me, or somebody meant this as an evil or a wrong against me. How is God going to use this? How is God going to take this moment and define me or shape me to be a better person, a better man of God? How am I going to be used by Him, that this lesson that I'm learning could be of benefit? Sorry, my messages are going off on my iPad here. Max Lucado, I came across a message that he has on this piece of scripture, and I love the words he says. He says, in God's hand, intended evil becomes eventual good. So if you've been passed over for that promotion, or you've been rejected in a certain situation, or you've been hurt by somebody, or someone's taken credit for your work, or anything like that, where you've been hurt, or where you feel like someone's out and is against you, I pray that we can, like you and me, that we both could see those moments in our lives as potential Joseph moments, where yes, there could be hurt and there could be evil, but God can use all moments to define, to shape, and be used to further His kingdom and to help us grow as people. I pray that this piece of scripture and this message is encouraging to you as it's been encouraging to me recently. That yes, we all have those Joseph moments, but let's look forward to what God's going to do with them to bring about good. God bless. Take care. Bye now.